Hey you all, it's Aisha. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel like this resonates with you in any way. I just wanted to share pretty much my experience quitting my job pretty much without a plan. I didn't have a hardcore plan or anything, but let me just tell you more. So, I had always had this inner knowing of there's something more out there for me. There's something big I need to be doing. I've known this from coming into adulthood pretty much 18, 19 years old, working at Target. So any job I ever worked, I always put my best. I always did my best, worked really hard, and I love that. I love that just feeling accomplished doing a good job at work. I got a few accolades, but one thing is a lot of the times I was given the responsibility without the position. And the first couple of jobs, cool, I let it slide. But then after a while, I'm like, oh no, I'm doing other people's jobs. I cannot have this. So it kind of gave me the thought of, well, if all these people have their own business or are on these type of pedestals and positions, I know I definitely can do it, especially that every job I go into, I take on a leadership role. If I'm not promoted to it, I still get those leadership roles. Somehow it has always happened in every job. So I started to get the feeling of, in some way I am a leader if other people see it from me. I didn't always see it for myself, but others saw it. So, after a while, I started to think there's some type of a business that's for me that I need to be doing. Didn't know exactly what it was, so I dibbled and dabbled in a few things, did a lot of research on becoming an etiquette coach. I had did a few videos on that and shared it. I did just a lot of research and little things of my own interest, my own personal interest that I can feel be a passion for me. I was a hairstylist, and even though I like doing my own hair, my own makeup, I love those type of things. I know it wasn't a passion for me. I know I didn't want to stick out and do that for too much longer. So, being a hairstylist, in a hair salon, there's a lot of chitter chat, a lot of gossip that goes on. And at one point, it just started to become even more and more intense. And it seemed as if the more I worked on my business, the more intense that struggle came with, the being attacked at work and having to go have all these meetings with different higher ups because there started to be, quite a bit of tension going on at work. And one thing probably was because I was putting it out online. I had some coworkers that was online seeing it as well. And, of course, they would be promoting it while I'm online. And then I guess on the back end, it's a whole nother story. So it was just coming into a lot of friction where at one night it was like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning, they say that's when, the spirits are really around and energy is potent. But yes, it was around 3 in the morning, and I had this crazy, crazy pull in my stomach. That's the best I can really define it. It wasn't like it was gas or anything, it was just this pull. Like, I really can't even wrap my head around explaining it. But it was a certain feeling in the pit of my stomach where I'm like, something has to change. You know, I don't like to compare or anything, but I felt like a lot of people around me was making moves in certain positive directions, getting married, having kids, their own businesses, glowing up in their own way. And one thing for me, I had lost over 80 pounds. If you go down in my channel, you'll see a little bit more of my story on that. But that's pretty much one thing I did have towards me, was having lost over 80 pounds. And I'm like, okay, at this moment, maybe that's what I can use to, build a business around it, being a weight loss coach. Because another thing is, a lot of people come to me for advice and all. So I just pretty much had to dig deep to figure out what are my truest passions and what people come to me for, and this is what I'm going to build my business around. So of course I started to do a whole lot of research on becoming a weight loss coach. That night when I just felt that pull in my stomach, I had gotten an email randomly. I never even looked into any of this person's email before, but it was an email talking about becoming a life coach and all the great benefits of it and how many people have become, so great off of it. Of course, in the mindset I just needed that one thing to tell me that was it. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the sign, but that was something I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm going to move forward on. So I started to do a lot of research on just becoming a coach. I found a coach myself to work with, and that's when things really got intense for me. I really started to say, this is it. I need to start making an exit strategy to get out of this job because things were just becoming so intense for me where I felt like it was pulling me away from my passion, pulling me and distracting me away from a bigger me, this lower me, arguing with people at work, constantly dreading waking up, chasing a bus, missing the bus, spending 2 hours travel. I live in New York, and even though transportation is easy, I didn't have a car. I don't have a car now. I didn't have a car to be going back and forth to work, and I was working at a distance. I wasn't even used to working this far from home or even traveling like this at the time, but I just ended up in that position at the time at where I was. So after a while, pretty much things just became so much intense where I felt like I was degrading myself because I had something so much bigger that was brewing, but it was getting distracted and pulled away from something so small on the side, which is a big deal to have a job, but I felt like the job was so minute compared to what I had in me that just wanted to come out. Now, I wouldn't say quitting a job is for anybody or everybody. For me, it was a very personal decision to make. Especially, I felt like it was the time for me to because I am single. I don't have any kids. I live at home. Not even just home. I have my parents' house, my grandparents' house. Thank God I have people around me that'll help me out. And I feel like if I can do this, I can then help my family. So if they help me, I help them. But I just knew it was a now or never type of thing. So I was going into 2018 where I'm like, hey, this is it. I have to make a change. If I don't step into the unknown, I will never find out. So I called my job. I didn't even call my job. I texted my boss like, I'm not coming back, pretty much. And she knew what it was because we were going through a lot of arguments. She knew exactly that something wasn't right with me. I had changed over the last few weeks being there. So it was just something I had to give. Now, going into quitting my job, I wish I can say that everything was just peaches and cream, but I just found that a lot of the struggles were traded, One thing I did get from it was me being able to work on my mental health. I didn't realize just how deep into anxiety I had become. I didn't realize how much depression I had surrounding me. I didn't realize the self-sabotage I was doing to myself for so long until I wasn't working, where I was home alone with my thoughts for so long. It wasn't no more me leaving my personal issues at the door, coming into work and focusing on my clients. It was now just me versus me. And that took a toll. That is something I don't think I would have ever gotten keeping a job, because my focus again was always on my clients, always on doing my best job, never really on me. So quitting my job has definitely taught me how to feel through emotion. And that was so different for me. That was very different because I'm so used to putting other people first. So although quitting my job didn't mean that I had, peaches and cream lifestyle after that, I definitely traded a lot. And I'm going to share more. I just wanted to just share this little bit, how it even came to it. But it definitely showed me how to look at myself, how to take responsibility for myself, how to appreciate me for me and understanding the power within me to grow whatever it is I want to, and how to really take out the negative distraction of others and focus on myself. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing more of these videos. Please comment anything more that's specific that you'd like to know, and I'll be more than happy to share it. But I just wanted to just give you a little prequel of what is more to come as far as what's happened since I've quit my job. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be talking to you soon.